Welcome to a new episode on my Raspberry Pi 3 in combination with the PiXtend, which is a PLC board, open source, to use with the Raspberry Pi 3. This is then Raspberry Pi 3 running Raspbian Linux, and this is the PiXtend board, which is not completed yet. I bought it as construction set. All parts to be soldered by me. And that gives a little bit of a problem because what needs to go where? A lot of components with it, connectors already partly fixed. And then how to go on? Well, on the PiXtend website I found some manuals, and one of them is the construction manual. In the construction manual there was a very nice introduction that says follow the hints and directions on the plate, on the board. All nice, but here are a few, here are some, but some very important directions are not on the plate, not on the board. However, this I took from the construction manual, and they also recommended to print it. And here they are, all of them, and this is in the same direction. So this belongs here, these two are here, this one is here, and these are there as well. Most importantly, here are all the numbers and directives that are missing here. So this is absolutely needed, and so is this. Labeling on the board, numbers and description, and most important, the value. So this is what I am going to do. Putting the components on the board step by step and fix them. So that will take some time because I want it, of course, to be done very thoroughly. But to show you step by step, I think I will just do it piece by piece. And that is capacitors, then the diodes, not chips. They can just be put in, I think, the sockets. Transistors, resistors, and some other stuff. And then, of course, connecting. On the image that I had previously, I had imagined that I would connect it like this. However, on the image that is on at the front of the construction manual, they put it like this, or more appropriate, like this. So it goes either in here or on here. That doesn't seem to matter. And then here. So you have, and that also is appropriate with these holes. So you mount it like this, and then you have on one place everything. You can connect it through internet or through network and then connect everything. So with that, let me start putting all things that are appropriate, starting with the capacitors, and see how it ends up. Or maybe not. So this is proving to be a tedious job. Little brown capacitors, little blue capacitors, light brown capacitors and electrolytic capacitors. And electrolytic capacitors have polarity, so you have to take care. Fortunately, the plus is denoted on the board and on the schematics. So that is done, but wires haven't been cut off completely yet. And another problem turned out to be that, which is fortunate as well, everything on the sheet was numbered out, number of capacitors. Fortunately, there were no capacitors with the same number, because with very small capacitors it is nearly impossible to find out which is which. So just by the numbers I've put them in. My surprise by finding that I apparently have some capacitors more than is listed on the list. Or put on the list, whatever. Anyway, this is as far as the capacitors go. And next are coming, according to the list, diodes. And this part of the capacitors has taken me a long time to find out where each capacitor was, because they are not numbered from left to right, they are just numbered. Well, here from left to right, and here you have to find. And since the numbers are pretty high, yeah, that takes a long time. Anyway, next, as I said, diodes. And another hour or so gone with all diodes done. And a number of very big diodes. Are they very neatly mounted? Not all of them. I came to a surprise that this, what looked like a transistor, appeared to be a diode of special type, and some very ordinary diodes here, and special diodes here as well. Some very thick wires remaining, not everything cut off nicely yet, but I am, I think, halfway. Here's room for relays, electromechanical switches, which is meant for high voltage, so you can't use an ordinary switch for that. And a lot of resistors and crystal oscillators remaining. So that is very nicely done for now. And maybe for this episode some more components. But what I also want to try again is with this one, for an attempt to see if I get VNC running, because I would love to have that running. It's not there for nothing. Also, I read in the manual that there is a special image existing with all tools to control this one. So maybe I have to reload this one. Another thing that I noticed is with the predecessor, Raspberry 1 and Raspberry 2, you can press here and then it ejects. With this one, no such thing. So I have to take it out, press it in, and that's it. I don't know if that's a malfunction or standard, but that's the way I found it. So let's see, for let's say some more minutes if I can get that done for some more components, and then up to this one. Oops. And the last step on putting pieces on the plate was some transistors. Here a few, this one, and here here 4 of them, including special transistors called MOSFETs. Not cut off yet, but considering the time it takes to put everything on place, relays to do yet, connectors are still to come, although a few are mounted already, crystal oscillators, etc. So I still have work to do, but it will have to be for now that this suffices. So next time some more, or maybe I'll just prepare everything so I can do more, because now I want to spend some time with the board itself. Last time I showed that I had to enable SSH secure shell to get access, because for some reason when I connect an HDMI monitor I don't get a monitor image, I don't see anything. With SSH I can get access anyway, but I want VNC, virtual network computing, and with most of my experiments I use it. I enabled it, so I expect to get it. So let's see what I can get now. Right, Raspberry Pi, and I have gained access through SSH again. Like last time, I wish to have virtual network computing, as I have gained access through this network connection. So the question is, do I have some kind of VNC working? I do. Question is though, which port? Because that I can't see. Usually you see something like VNC server .1 or colon 1, colon 2, etc. But not in this case. It could be that it says service 14. So let me right here wherever it is. Oh, there it is. Try something. Service 14. That's not the one. then service 18 will not do anything either, I think. No. Alright. So the server is clearly running. Server UI, etc. Then I will have to find out what I can do with this one. Alright, a very big difference now. It turned out that the VNC server that came with the Debian, Raspbian Linux, is real VNC Linux. I'm not using that. I'm using for on my project Tight VNC. So I installed that, and real VNC server immediately got deinstalled, but was still running. Now I have, as you can see, started Tight VNC server. I had to give a password, and right now you can see that desktop 1 is running. So with this I should gain access. Yes. And I have my access file. This is what I want. Although not the correct resolution, I will have to set that. But for now, I have something I can work with. And well, this looks like something American, but I will ignore that. Java, I won't use it. Mathematica, very impressive computing program. Wolfram, also mathematical. Smart Simulator. Office, aha. I am very curious which version this will be. 5, okay. So I will wait until it starts up, then close it again. Yes. VNC server. Yeah, that is what is running now. Media player, nice. Image viewer, okay. Accessoires, whatever. Alright, so with this I now have access to the board as I want, but I do not have with this the tools to, at least not that I know, the tools to access and use the PiXtend. So what to do and how to do it, I will have to see a bit later. Maybe I can install them, but for now I think this will have to do, and I will have to make it much bigger, also because I have to adjust the whole screen, like a tiny shell, and this one, and probably other screens as well. So this has been set, and whatever comes next comes next. For first, for a second part of the introduction, I think this is it. So yeah, let it be. Right, so this is a wrap. One more remark. I have put once again the Raspberry Pi on a sheet of paper. If you have watched my other videos on Raspberry Pi 1 and 2, you will notice that I have always put them on paper. Why? Because paper is non-conductive. Ordinary sheet of paper is non-conductive. Very important if you consider that here are all bare elements. And I don't want to fry my system. So, if you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube. Give the video a thumbs up, like it, leave a comment or suggestion. You can also follow me via Instagram and Twitter. Please donate to keep keep everything alive and coming to you. Very much appreciated. You can also become a patron and have your name mentioned. And your name will be mentioned on my website, as well as depending on the pledge with my videos. This is obviously going to be continued with hopefully a finished board and more stuff with either this or the combination. For now, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Bye bye.